I'm in law enforcement, and I see a lot of negativity in the human race.
Yeah.
So
we see a lot of all kinds of things in the human race.
Right. So no matter what anyone has done, they're completely, truly worthy. No matter what I've done in the past, maybe whatever.
Well, the thing about worthiness, when we say to you that you are adored by Source, there is never an exception to that. But whether you recognize that or not is the operative component. So if you've been convinced that doing such and such a thing is inappropriate, and you've done that thing, so now you believe that you have done something that is inappropriate. Now your belief about yourself has you in a place that you can't receive the love of Source even though it's being offered to you. So when we say you are worthy, we mean Source is not holding you as someone who is apart from well-being or from goodness because of some behavior that you've offered. But often, because of your feeling about the behavior you have offered, you hold yourself apart from the love of Source. In other words, humans are really schizophrenic about the way they think God sees them. Humans have turned God into someone who is vengeful and punishing. And you just can't have it both ways. In other words, either God is love or God is fickle, but God cannot be both of those things, you see. Mm-hmm. So worthiness is a perceptual thing. Worthiness is on that good feeling disc. And it's something that you have to choose deliberately.
That was really the only thing I had. But I really wish I could show you how enthusiastic I am over just your information. The way I feel when I listen to you, when I read your books.
We can feel it. We want to talk about this subject just a little bit here because it really is what we've been talking about all morning, and we think if we tie these together, it will help you break into a new place. Jerry had an idea when he first met us that all of the people who were people that you are trying to round up should live on islands. The murderers should all live on an island and murder each other, and the rapers should all live on one island and do it to each other, and the thieves should all live on one island and steal from one another. He thought that that would be perfect justice. And we said to him that those islands exist. They are vibrational islands. And the audience on that day was not very happy with our answer because they don't want the victim to be on the same island as the victimizer. And yet there has to be a vibrational matchup for anything to happen in terms of co-creating. And so it's taken a few years for us to all sort this out together. And so today we're talking to you about the disc that you are choosing, either indeliberately or by default, and how whatever point of attraction you are choosing, often it's because of what you're observing, but often it's also out of habit. It's from what you continue to regurgitate or what you continue to speak about. So you choose these discs, and then law of attraction brings to you things that are equivalent to whatever your normal or your chronic vibrational choice is. And so it would be accurate to say you're worthy of whatever is coming to you. You are deserving of whatever's coming to you. But it's not being assigned from the outside. It's not someone from the outside or someone from the inside like Source. It's not someone saying to you, you are worthy of more than you are receiving, because you're exactly worthy and deserving of whatever you are receiving, because you are vibrationally offering and things are coming back. So the word worthy then doesn't turn out to be the word that you wanted it to be, because when most people offer the word worthy, what they mean is there is someone who is righteous and good, who is looking out into the sea of all of us and is identifying us as appropriate or inappropriate. And I want to be seen as one who is so appropriate that then good things are sent my way. And we say, 100% of you are seen that way, and 100% of you, good things are being sent your way. The question is, what kind of a filter system, or how clogged are your pipes in receiving the goodness that you deserve, that is being flown to you? And the answer to that question is, it's an in the moment attitude or mood or emotion. Your worthiness is not like a college degree that once you earn it, you hang it on your wall and it is yours forevermore. It either is or it isn't in the moment of whatever emotion that you're feeling, you see. So when you say, I want to feel worthy, we know that what you want to clarify is, I want to feel worthy of all of the goodness that I have amassed. I want to feel worthy of all of the attention that source energy has to offer. I want to be a recipient of the furthest most extension of that which I have accomplished. I want to be pure positive energy in a physical body. I want to be an uplifter. I want to be tapped in and tuned in to the frequency of well-being. I want to be a living example of someone who has opened the valve, who has opened the pipes, who is allowing the well-being that I've been asking for to flow abundantly through my experience. I want to live as an example of well-being, you see. And so we wish for everyone that we could just zap you with a worthiness stick, and that just once and for all we could clean out all of those old pipes. Because every time someone says to you, you're inappropriate, every time someone said to you, if you do that, you are judged unworthy, every time you're given an E or a D or a C instead of an A, every time you're compared with others on some erroneous basis of comparison, every time anyone has ever compared anyone about anything, they've gotten vibrationally off. Every moment that you spend trying to justify where you stand to someone else, you are sort of clogging up those pipes. The only way to get to that feeling of worthiness, to that feeling of empowerment, to that feeling of goodness that is so natural within you, the only way to get there is by today reaching for the best feeling that you can find and practicing it until you own it more and more. And as you own it more and more, then the evidence of your alignment, not the evidence of your worthiness, the evidence of your alignment flows into your experience. So then we like to say to everyone, you're always living the evidence of your alignment with whatever disc you're choosing. So we think it could be a very easy thing for you. What's coming to you? Well, this and this and this. Well, describe it. Well, I'm working harder than I want to, and I don't get a lot of respect from people. And I don't have time to sleep as much as I'd like to. And I feel like there should be an easier way, but I'm not finding it. And I have quite a bit of struggle in my life. And we say, do you realize that that's only because that's the disc you've chosen? And most people would say, no, I'm choosing this disc because that's how life is for me. And if we could just get you to turn that around, to realize that that's how life is for you because that's the disc you've chosen. That's how life is because that's the disc you've chosen. And then as you look out into the world, you understand everything. You understand everything that everyone is living. That's the disc they're choosing. And as our friend so eloquently said, we've never enjoyed a conversation more than the conversation that we had earlier today, where our friend was stubbornly acknowledging how difficult it is to jump discs. And we want to say it's not just difficult, it's impossible. You just can't jump discs, not in the way you want to. But you can wake up in the morning and choose another one, and wake up in the morning and choose another one, and wake up in the morning and choose another one until you've acclimated to that high-flying disc. And we think that is what you're reaching for when you're reaching for the word of worthy, you say.
Thank you.
So if we were moving around in your physical world, and we were seeing people living all kinds of things that you don't want to live, and all kinds of things that you don't want them to live, and all kinds of things that you don't want them to spread around the community, we would, in our mind at least, we wouldn't try to express it to them because there's no point in saying things that people aren't ready to hear. But we would say in our mind, at every opportunity we have, as we are interacting in any of those experiences, we would say, you are the recipient, whether you are looking at the victimizer or the victim, you are the recipient of the vibrational results that you have been practicing. You are the liver of the vibrational results of the vibration that you've been practicing, And then just start listening. Listen, there are such clues in what vibration they are practicing. It is rampant in their words. You've seen some of it here today. Do you think that the position that you're in has put you in a place of stronger wanting for the community?
Yes.
Do you think that sifting through all of that has caused you to put rockets of desire in your vortex?
Absolutely.
Of the way you would like society to live, and even how you would like individuals to be able to live and feel?
Yes.
So can you, right now, we think you can because we can feel where you are, can you put some words that we can all focus around out reaching for that highest flying disc. Can you speak words about your work
Oh boy.
that fit up there?
Improvement. Hope.
Those are discs along the way to there, and maybe that's the best that you can do. And it's because your observation of what you've been observing has sort of worn you down into a different vibrational expectation. But each time that happened, you launched a rocket and you got momentum going. So now here you are, the vortex is wide open. Source is looking right into the subject with you. So what are some words that you already own or believe or know that are on that high-flying disc that don't defy the reality of what you're living? Opportunity. Now just stay with us for a little bit. We're going to find some for you. Opportunity, and we don't just mean for improvement, we mean opportunity. Choices. You never know more clearly what you do want than when you're living what you don't want. Therefore, expansion. Cooperation. Mm-hmm. Momentum. Double back around. Opportunity. Expansion. Momentum. Self-empowerment. Seeking of freedom.
I was going to say freedom.
Knowing one's own self-worth. Speaking out about one's self-worth. Reaching for self-empowerment. Reaching for freedom. In other words, there's so much of that happening all around you, of things that are innately known by individuals who are acting out, who are pushing back against a society that seems to have them held down. So what you're witnessing, more than any person that we've ever visited with, is the powerful and important results of contrast, where rockets of desire are flowing. Mm-hmm. There is more desire flowing out of the people that you are interacting with than out of the people that most of the people in this room are interacting with. More momentum has been established, more high-flying momentum, therefore more potential for lining up with that. You getting the sense of what we're talking about?
I think so.
We want you all to embrace contrast rather than condemn it.
I have a
because we know you do, because
yeah.
there's this thing that you do, and almost everybody, we're right at the crux of what is sort of tripping almost everyone up, and it goes like this. So I want to live a good life, and I am willing to stand in this society where there's so much to select from, and in my wanting to live a good life, and in my misunderstanding about vibration, and since I didn't know about choosing the disc, and I didn't know about establishing my vibration, and I didn't know about practicing my momentum, instead I did what most everybody else did. I've been observing momentum, I've been observing reality, and I've been establishing vibrational discs, and I've been practicing momentum. So now I'm actually living, most of my society around me is, most of society is living on a disc that they do not want, and believing that the way, oh, we love telling you this, believing that the way to a better disc and therefore to a better life is to eliminate the subjects and to eliminate the conditions on the lower disc that are causing me to feel bad when I observe them. So most of the world is looking around in the world and they're saying, we need to get rid of that, or we need to at least marginalize it, and we need to isolate that. We need to make the punishment significant enough and often enough that it will squelch the behavior that we do not want to see. And instead, there's just more gasoline on that fire. There's a war against everything. A war against drugs, and a war against crime, and a war against, and they're all getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger because the momentum comes from that. So where is the solution? The solution is in bypassing the incarceration system. It's in bypassing the judgment. It's in bypassing the comparison. It's in bypassing the you're better than you because of this and you're worse than you because of this. It's bypassing all of that. It's time to lay new pipes, and it's time to see everyone as the freedom seekers that they are. It's time to give everyone who is a freedom seeker the opportunity to seek and find the freedom that they want.